I'd never been asked before, what do you do? I was like, really?
Ring any bells?
So, no. And I could see that these Americans were kind of like, who the hell is this guy? And I was saying, don't worry, 6 songs in, you'll know who I am. And got to Wonderwall, and I was like, oh, it's this guy. I love this guy. I love this guy. And I was like, see? That's why I'm getting paid the big money.
So the brand new album, Council Skies, I believe the name is in reference to the area that you grew up in.
Well, Council Skies, it's actually the title of a book by an artist called Pete McKee, who's done work with me down the years.
Does some great work with you guys, yeah.
There's a song on the album called Council Skies, and there's a hook in it underneath something. And as I was writing the song, his book happened to be on the coffee table in my house, and I was like, Council Skies, my God, that's a good name for it. And I called him, and he was just going in for a triple heart bypass.
No way.
I called him, and I said, can I use this title?
It's a bit busy right now, Noel.
Yeah. And the song was about something else, and then I kind of rewrote it, and the term Council Skies, it then became a song about my youth, and I stole it from him, and I now present it to you.
Is he okay, may I ask, Noel? Have you spoken to him since this happened?
I could well have gone to the other side.
This is his legacy, this new album.
Well, if he has, he won't be getting enough credit for it. Be like, no, I sat down one day and I thought to myself, it's time I documented my youth.
I always love hearing about how you find inspiration for songwriting, and there being a book from your favourite artist on the coffee table is just another one of those stories.
I do it a lot. Helps if the author's dead.
Okay.
Then you don't have to credit anybody for it. But in this case, Pete is, I'm assuming he's just alive and well. How are you, mate?
Big shout out, Pete.
Yeah. It's a lovely fella.
This is what he would have wanted. I mean, what he wants, what he wants, yeah. I really love reading more, and I always have done, about you being self-taught. And you've gone from avoiding the pitfalls that can be around council estates and all around the country and around the world, to being in Oasis and absolutely, ruling the world of music, conquering it.
Yeah, well, I believe in destiny and fate anyway, so I believe it was kind of mapped out for us. But I was just, when I first picked up the guitar, I was just into it, do you know what I mean? And I've never had a musical lesson, which is just, because one of my lads is learning how to play the guitar.
Are you teaching him when you say he's learning?
Here's the thing.
Right.
It was like, I'm thinking, should I teach him? And then, he's like, Dad, can you teach me how to play guitar? And I'm like, well, no, because not like I don't want it. It's just like I just picked it up and there it was. Okay, yeah. Do that. And he's like, what? I've never been taught, so I don't know I could teach anybody. It's all by feel for me. Do you know what I mean?
Is there something kind of about that amazement where you might stumble across a new way of shifting your little finger across the fretboard, and you're like, oh, look what I've done. Look how that sounds. And there's a kind of childlike excitement.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a track on the album called Dead to the World, which is, there's 2 chords in there I've never used before in my life. I couldn't tell you what they are, and I hit them by accident. I was like, oh. Hello. When those books come out, that the kind of notation guitar chord books of your songs, does it make interesting reading for you as someone who doesn't? I remember in the 90s when the Definitely Maybe one came out, and somebody said, do you want to okay this? And I was looking at it going, it's a load of squiggles. I was like, what is that? And they were like, well, is it right? And I was like, what?
Yeah, feeling supersonic. Yeah, that looks good. Gin and tonic.
Oh, no, actually, no. That crotchet there is. I think that's a semitone out.
I mean, there's a conversation happening at the moment. No, I don't know if you're aware of it, but it seems to kind of be taking over the world, and that is surrounding nepo babies and the nepotism surrounding.
Harry, then.
Yeah, we got a whole hour on him. Yeah. But what are your thoughts on the nepotism? But particularly, I think it's worth focusing on the arts. Where people are giving their kids maybe a leg up when it comes to getting on the big screen or creating music and going into the right studios. Is that just the natural order of things, that parents will always help their kids?
It's not the worst thing in the world if you get your kids working for you. They're cheap, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, look, I'm paying half the rent here, so You know what I mean? Get your finger out.
And you give your kids you give them a helping hand, you give them a leg up within the industry if you know your tentacles were to stretch into the things that they were interested in.
Of course. My lads are too busy scratching their balls and scouring TikTok for nonsense to worry about. Dad, can I be your bass player or anything like that?
You want nepotism, but they just don't want it back.
Yeah, they're just like, can I get some more stuff off Fortnite? What do they call them? Skins. Dad, can I get some skins off Fortnite? My youngest lad, actually, he said to me once, Dad, he was asking for some stuff off Fortnite, and I was like, how much is it? And he's like, it's $25.99. I was like, mate, come on, mate, that's a lot of money. And he went, but you're loaded. And I was like, how do you know? And he said, because I've just Googled your net wealth.
Got you there, Dad.
Yeah. He was about 10 at the time. And I said, give me that iPad. And I went, well, for a start, it's a lot more than that. Okay. Go on, have it.
No, you never fail to deliver when it comes to the breakfast show features that we do here, which is why I'm so pleased to say it is time now for your star sign scenarios. Now, your last single, which we play all the time here on Breakfast, we love it, Pretty Boy, featured the line, I want to change my star sign because it don't suit me. Well, no, I can tell you that you were born in the month of May,
That's correct.
which makes you a Gemini.
That's correct.
You are quick-witted,
That's correct.
outgoing,
Yes.
inquisitive,
Very.
agile.
I don't know about that. Agile of thought, maybe. I'm not sure. Not sure I walk like a panther anymore.
Charming,
Oh, very.
adaptable.
Very.
You like how that sounds so far?
I do. Yeah. Is he flirting with me? Is he? Oh, okay.
I've tried many times and I always fail.
Well, I'm telling you, Dave, I'm liking it. So. And it will get you everywhere.
So I'm going to take a deep dive into your astrological projection and ask you some questions related to your star sign. And we start with Geminis, love to dance. Apart from you, you told me on this show that you even struggled with the first dance at your own wedding.
Yeah, it was all. I mean, it was just my daughter. Bless her. She realised what was going on. She kind of led the charge onto the dance floor.
So was it like the three of you having the first dance together, you mean? Or
briefly.
Right.
Well, it's like dancing is one thing, right?
Yeah.
To Acid House in the 80s when nobody knows who you are. That's one thing. That was great. I loved it. But then, in front of all your mates and you smooching with your missus, you're just like, it made me feel a bit uncomfortable, actually.
Okay.
I think it might have been the longest 90 seconds before it hit the chorus that I've ever experienced.
Oh, you mean as she kind of like started ushering people onto the floor? That's a lovely thing to do.
I do believe the rules are that, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe the rules are at the first chorus everybody joins in.
Yeah.
And AS led the charge about 30 seconds before that because she was like, okay, he's struggling here.
Bless her.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And of course my missus is a fabulous dancer. I was letting the side down.
Yeah, okay.
But I did, dancing at raves used to be great. Yeah.
Were you, I mean, this obviously before you were famous, were you on the speaker stack or were you in a corner minding your own business?
I call it dancing. If you've seen it, you would say you're just marching round. You're just marching round in ever decreasing circles like a Duracell bunny. I'm like,
with one arm in the air.
I think what you'll find that is called dancing.
Geminis love to travel.
Yes.
Do you love to travel?
I do. I love it.
Do you miss the comforts of home and all that stuff, or do you actually really like being out on the road?
Well, there's a funny moment in your career where when you start off and you're at kind of at the bottom and you're staying in, the Columbia Hotel, you're thinking, this is amazing. And then as the years go by, if you become successful like I, you end up living in a house that's nicer than a 5-star hotel, right? And then you're in a 5-star hotel going, fucking hell.
These towels are rubbish.
So then of course, it's like a job then. But at the beginning, you're just like, I can't believe who's put these chocolates on the pillow. That's so cool. And then it's just like, mate, can you take these chocolates off the pillow, please?
With the travelling and the love of it, maybe, particularly in the early days, were there any really strange places? Were you ever at the behest of a billionaire who wanted you to perform in a nuclear bunker for her kittens?
I did that recently, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened?
this billionaire asked me to play for him, and I said, mate, I don't. Yeah, and he told me how much he's going to pay me, and I said, what time do you want me?
Yeah, your son got more Fortnite after that. More skins.
Well, honestly, I played for 40 minutes to a load of people who were not remotely interested in it. A lot of Americans, actually.
Okay.
And I could see that these Americans were kind of like, who the hell is this guy? You know, and I was saying, don't worry, 6 songs in, you'll know who I am. And got to Wonderwall, and I was like, oh, it's this guy. I love this guy. I love this guy. And I was like, see, that's why I'm getting paid the big money.
It leapt out at you when I was going through your astrological projection at the beginning of this, Noel. Inquisitive, you know, you're a curious bunch. You say you're not a big reader, but if something pricks your interest, will you be determined to find out more about it? Will you kind of Google stuff because you want to know more?
The example I would give you is when I got the invite to go to number 10 Downing Street in the 90s.
Back in the day.
It was like... But I couldn't not go because I was like, I have to go and see what's in that house.
Yeah.
I have to. I'm too nosy not to go. And I was like, you're going to go? I was like, yes, I'm going to go. They're like, why? I was like, I want to see what's in there.
Yeah.
You know, because we've seen that door, like, we've grown up with...
It's an iconic door.
We've grown up with it and seen, you know, bozo after bozo coming in and out of it. The curious cat in me was just like, I am going to that party just to see what it's like.
I mean, obviously, you going to 10 Downing Street and the effect that had on a whole group of people, you know, younger people and them voting, you know, that's been written about countless times. But it's interesting to ask you, you went in there purely because you were curious as a Gemini.
Absolutely.
Did you get to snoop around a bit? I imagine it was kind of all pretty tight security-wise. Was there just a reception or did you sneak about?
I remember it being quite loose, do you know what I mean? I was like...
Okay.
Somebody reminded me years later, do you remember you turned up with a Sharpie? And I was like, what? And they said you were going to draw a tash on Thatcher's portrait. And I was like, was I? They were like, you had a Sharpie? And I was like, it's the kind of thing I do, but I don't have no recollection of it. I wish I'd done it, do you know what I mean?
Oh, wow. Okay, nearly.
Yeah, won't be a minute. Stand back.
Gemini's are hedonistic. You love to party. There is no off button.
Oh my God! Yes.
Now,
I was out last night. When it's like I accidentally swallow lots of alcohol when I go out, and I feel pretty rough today. I mean, I've only just woke up.
You're on great form though, man.
Well, I know.
I mean, wow.
Well, mate. Yeah, I love getting on it. I love it.
Have you ever abstained for any...
No.
Obviously, we've joked about dry January. That's not a thing for you, Noel.
No, I think... No. Well, life is short, right?
Yeah.
And life is fleeting. And I think while you can, you should. Because there's going to come a point where your doctor goes, you maybe shouldn't do that anymore. And you go, okay.
Right, so your mindset is to rush towards that point.
Yes, I'm on it until I get the tap on the shoulder. I'm like, you can't... Come on.
Yeah, what you up to?
Yeah, well, you know, I'm still functioning perfectly as a human being, although the old back's a bit sore. But
comes to us all.
Going out, it's a big part of life. Being sociable with one's friends. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Oh, that's nice
every
to hear.
Thursday, you can catch me in the West End. Not on stage, usually in the firehouse, talking nonsense to somebody. Anyone who'll listen.
You know, you've inspired me. I've been doing dry January, but I'm going to stop after this.
Somebody asked me in the firehouse the other night, what do you do? And I was like,
what?
Well, I didn't know what to say.
What do you say to that, Noel?
Well, I didn't know what to say because I'd never been asked before, what do you do? I was like, really?
Ring any bells? Wait till I get to track number 7.
Yeah. So, no, Wonderwall, nothing.
Wow.
So what is it you do? And I was like, I change people's lives for the better. So he was like, oh, what, you in the medical profession? I was like, of sorts. Of sorts.
So that's the first time you've been asked what do you do since you were probably a
genuinely
roadie, right?
I was gobsmacked.
I'm gobsmacked for you.
Yeah. I was like, look, Google it, love. Just put in Noel Gallagher. High Flying Birds. Out you want. Oasis. Put in Liam Gallagher, you probably see a picture of me.
Noel, it's great seeing you, man. It always is. The brand new single, Easy Now, which I'm already a huge fan of, is out today. We're going to be playing it here on Breakfast a lot. And the new Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds album, Council Skies, is going to be out in June. I cannot wait to hear it. Noel, thank you ever so much,
Pleasure,
man.
thank you very much.